So this is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and Dope Living TV.
Yo, this is Tony Terry, and you're watching Dope Living TV.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver, and whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
What's up? We watching Dope Living TV. What you watching?
I'm sorry, I was muted. I don't know what happened. That StreamYard, I don't own StreamYard, but here's what it is. Okay, welcome to the show. Hope everybody's cool. All right, I don't want to do this. Gina making me. All right, but tonight the show is we're gonna talk about my book. Look at that, I can't even talk, man, because I don't want to do this. I'm talking about my book. It's called Peace and Power, the Black Man's Guide to Balance in Life, Love, and Business. And, you know, I wanted to say this before anybody else got on. It's not just for Black men. I can only speak for myself, though. I'm a Black man, and it's my perspective. So I call it a Black Man's Guide, okay, because it's a guide for me to pass on to everyone else who, you know, if you want to use it, fine. If you don't want to use it, that's fine, too. Getting some stuff off of my chest, all right?
Yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah, man. What's up, sis?
I feel little.
Me too. Me too.
Oh,
Definitely. What up, man?
What's going on, family?
Hey, Mo.
No, boy.
What's up?
No, hey, all I can say, what's up, Steve?
Hey,
Hey, Steve.
hey, cuz, hey, Gina.
What's going
What's
on?
up, bro?
We got the pleasantries out the way. And, you know, last night we were talking, we have the blessing to have the people from Melanin and Marriage on last night. We had a little discussion at the end of the show, which I wish we didn't have. But they're coming on here. I totally respect those people. I think they're a blessing to everybody. So let them be a blessing to me as well. What's going on, Dr. S. Marie?
Good evening.
Hello. Oh, we get to see her twice in 1 week.
Yeah.
Wait. And get to see another color hat, too.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening, good people?
Brother Banks. Brother Banks.
Right?
Brother Banks.
Hello.
Hey, I since we did this, I also invited my sister Rachel to come.
Okay.
Right.
Today is her
good.
Today is her anniversary, and I told her she didn't have to do this, but her wife called me back and said, "Hey, what's the link?" I said, "No." She said, "Shut up. Give me the link. We'll see you later." I'm like, "All right."
Talk to you in a minute.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. There it is. So, you know, start off by saying that the title of the book is called Peace and Power, the Black Man's Guide to Balance in Life, Love, and Business. Again, I can only speak for myself. All right. What's up, sis?
What's going on, sis?
Hey, coach.
Hey.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
I don't know if she can hear you guys yet, but
It's your anniversary.
but that's Rachel. She'll get her bearings on it in a minute. Okay, I think her wife's going to be there too. But yeah, I wrote the book to because I've gone through a lot, and I wanted to find some peace. I wanted to get peace. I had it all, lost it all. I mean, lost it all. Everything. Ass out.
Hey there, great people.
What's up?
Welcome.
That was a delay.
Said happy anniversary.
Welcome.
Hello.
And actually, Mo was a part of that journey too, because he knows where I was. All right.
Yeah.
And it's just we don't have to chase anything. Okay. If we really take the time to pray and listen to God first of all, and then to the people who have good intentions for you, then we'll be fine. Okay. But we have to be able to follow the steps. All right. It ain't about taking this step and then leaping. It's about taking the steps in order to get to that peace and power, which is what I'm sharing with everybody. So, Gina, it's on you, man.
Oh, I'm ready to go into this.
Bet you are.
Listen,
Bet you are.
you guys, I'm inspired because of my big brother. He talked about writing a book for 6 years that I know of, maybe longer than that, but that I know of, at least 6 or 7 years. And when he finally did and shot it to me, I was like, what? So this is really special. This is something that I'm proud of him for doing, because he always said, I'm not an author, I'm not a writer, I'll never write a book. And now he has a book. So, brother, first thing I want you to tell, I think you went into it a little bit, but tell us a little bit more in depth about the book. What can somebody expect that put this book in their hands?
Well, basically, what I wanted to impart was that, again, these are things that I went through in order to get to my peace and my power. But I wanted to make it in simple terms. And I'm not saying anybody, degrading anybody's mental capacity or anything like that. But I want to put it in simple terms. I wanted to use examples, metaphors, in order to make it clear that in order to achieve a certain amount of peace, you got to go through things to get to something else, okay? Something better. But I wanted to make sure that I just, captured every single moment of what I had to do. The mirror test, knowing who we are, is the first chapter. And if we don't know who we are, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? And at that time, I did not know who I was. I knew what everybody else thought I was, and I tried to live up to that, but I didn't know who I was. And that was part of my downfall, and we just have to, I just wanted to write something where I just said, basically getting everything off my chest, like I always told you, but hoping that it would help somebody who needed it. And it's not just for Black men. I'm a Black man, as I said, okay? So I've always said that I have to have balance in my life, in my love, and in my business. And so I created that. And a major part of that was when I had my son, and that's why I keep him at the forefront of everything. He's the first person on who you see the intro. I talk about him all the time. My son is my motivation. So that's basically what it is, Janet.
Awesome. And you honestly really described it to the T. And I really want to. It's so many questions that I have. I'm not.
And I'm so nervous right now.
I know everybody has questions for you. I know everyone does. But before I turn it over, I want to know what made you choose the fist, because I thought that was really creative and really hit home to what the book is about. And what made you choose the title?
Okay, there's two things with the fist. And if I could have did this, could have just had the fist. It's going up, okay, which means it's a breakthrough, okay. So the fist symbolizes a breakthrough and power, because it's a clenched fist, okay. I could slap somebody all day long, okay, and put the little behind it, okay. But a clenched fist is power to me, all right. It shows the power, and you also are closing off a lot of outside negative energy when you have this fist, okay. So that was my thing, okay. Number one, it's a breakthrough, and number two, it creates power and it closes off all the negative energy,
which creates that peace.
Correct.
I love that. And that's really what I thought about when I saw it. I mean, just breakthrough. We held that up back in the 70s. Remember, we held that up in the 70s for peace.
It's extorial.
We did.
Thank you, Marie.
Yeah. So you guys, come on, throw it at him, because he got to talk about this book. We got to get him talking
exactly
about
when do you think you first start writing it? And because you start writing in your mind way before you start writing on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Like Gina said, it's probably been about 5 or 6 years ago. Once everything kind of mellowed out and smoothed out, and I knew that I was where I needed to be about 5 or 6 years ago. I had the idea and I started writing. Now, I would always joke on the show, I'm going to write a book and it's going to be a page with one word on it, on each page.
I remember that, yeah.
With 50 pages, so it's only going to be 50 words, okay? But it's going to look thick, all right? But
I heard that joke a few times.
Yeah, so I just I got into it, and then the other part about that is she says inspiration. Okay, it's inspiration all around me. Gina would always tell me, first of all, when she first met me, and we went to the same school, but I didn't know her. I met her at a post office, and the rest is history. But when I met her and she learned a little bit more about me, she said, "You should write a book." I said, "All right." That's all I said was, "All right, I'm gonna write a book." All right, never did it. Never did it. And she mentioned it
in his head. He was like, "Psych."
Yeah, and she mentioned it again, and then she, you know, as I got involved with the Distinguished Authors Guild, and I saw how that was going, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna surprise her one day, and I just threw. I swear, I threw it on her. I threw it on Rachel. I think did I throw it on you, Mo?
Yes, you did.
I threw it on Mo. I just said, hey, there you go, y'all. I did it. I wrote the book. Whatever. Gina came back and was like, "Oh my God, bro."
I want to just.
Go ahead.
I want to say this one, and he took control and praying. That was all I had to hear. And I tell you this, I've knew you over 25 years, and you have lived a book worthy life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that started from, and just what you just said, Steve. That started from back in the day when me and him. I mean,
back in the day.
Yeah, and
So,
you know the thing.
Yeah, that's all fine and dandy. I want to hear not just the back in the day. I want to hear the detail. That
the detail about what?
Yeah, I want to hear that defining moment when you looked in the mirror
and said, "I gotta do this."
And you came. Not only did you come up with that title, because you had to choose a point in your life where you had to really look in the mirror at yourself and say, man, this is my defining moment right here. This is what's going to shape and shift my movements. It's gonna when you became humble, when you became afraid, and when you became a warrior to get you out of that slumber.
Well, first of all, Brother Banks,
Mr. Banks, he was really afraid.
Yeah.
But that's what we want to know, the man behind the mirror.
First of all, I didn't have a mirror. Okay, there was no mirror for me unless I went to someone's house and looked in their mirror. I didn't have a mirror. All right, but in answer to your question, when I lost, I had a certain amount. You know, shows were doing great, but I wasn't. Again, I didn't know who I was, so. Everything, when I'm listening to people, I started gambling. I was doing a whole lot of stuff because I had the money to do so. But when I was gambling, I would expect another, you know, if I spend 5,000 here, 10,000 coming next week. So I ain't worried about it. All right. When the check stopped coming and dynamics changed, I had nothing. I had X amount of dollars at one time living well. Next thing I look, I had nothing. I could look, man. Talk about somebody talking about having $1.45 in their bank account. I ain't even had that. I was out. I had nothing. Okay, so then I couldn't maintain housing. Car broke down, but I'm still doing the show because I'm trying to make sure that I can get some stuff coming in. So I wound up sleeping at this closed school. Underneath, it was an enclosure. There was a sliding board and all that stuff. There was an enclosure and it had some wood chips there. I slept there, okay? And there's I put a video out because I revisited it a couple of years back, and I put a video. It's called Me, and it takes you right to that spot where I was at. And I'll share that link with you guys. Right then and there, you know, you hear gunshots, you hear sirens, you hear people coming up, you hear all of this stuff, man. And I just didn't know what else to do. So I felt that I was at the bottom, couldn't go anywhere else. So every night I would pray to God to give me some guidance. You know, what do I do? How do I get out of this? And, you know, people, again, like I said it last night, prayer does work. You know, you have to be able to pray the correct way. You don't pray selfishly. You know, you pray for guidance. You pray for knowledge. You pray for strength. All right. And you pray for others. I'm in the worst position of my life, but I'm asking God to bless and hold the other people that are in the position I am, or even worse, to help them to rise as well. So as I'm doing that, I start devising. I'm sitting there. I'm telling you, I didn't have a flashlight, man. I'm hoping that I can see anything that can make what I'm looking at. Because I always had books and paper, so I'm writing down plans. You know, even though I don't know how I'm gonna implement them, I'm writing down plans. I'm going from house to house, brother's house, mom and dad's house to pretend visits. But I go upstairs and take that little bath. Well, you know, I ain't gonna say what the word is, but take them little quick baths. All of that. You know, I'm looking for Tyrita. Hey, Tyrita, that's my crack. But I'm calling people. I'm calling New York. I'm calling California. I'm calling so that I can make sure that I'm getting what I need, because this plan was given to me through God. He said this is what I had to do. And people are saying you crazy because he can't tell you that. Yes, he can. Okay. It's not those words that God is telling you. It's what you hear. All right. He says it one way, but you hear it and translate it for yourself, because you know it is good. You know, one thing that always stuck in my mind, I don't remember, I think it's in James, faith without works is dead. Okay. I was faithful, but I wasn't working. That's the whole thing right there. I was faithful, but I wasn't working in his favor. All right. So long story short, Brother Banks, I had nothing, prayed on it, got rid of the people, started closing my fists, got rid of the people that got me to that point, you know, and I take accountability for everything that happened to me, but there were people in there telling me things that I should not have listened to. All right. People that were making me do some things because I didn't know the business, but I studied. And you know, I thank Steve for always being a hype man, basically, okay, for me. You know, way back in the day, he was a young guy, just hyping me up, saying, "You got it, Greg. This is it. This is it. This is great, man. I want to be a part." And I told Steve, and he can tell you, he can vouch for it, because one thing I don't do is lie anymore. I don't lie. All right. And I told Steve, I said, Steve, I got you. Okay. Steve is flourishing right now. All right. God does not tell you when it's going to happen. He gives you the path like a GPS. Okay. You can put in anything you want in the GPS and tell you how to get to whatever destination you want to get to. All right. And you trust, you have faith that GPS is going to get you there. I had faith when I spoke it to God, didn't have to worry about it. I had faith that he would take me through it, and he did.
What do you think your moment, your pivot moment, what do you think was like the day that said, you know what, this is the day right here that I need to do this, that catapult you to where you are now?
When my son was born, that changed my whole trajectory of life. Okay. That's why when I talk about my son, sometimes I cry, because God brought him into my life, not when I wanted it. He brought him in there when I needed it. Okay. Changed my whole trajectory. I said that I got to be better for him. I got to do what I got to do so that he can see his father in a great light. All right. Not always the best light, but see father in the great light. I've never been phony. One time, I used to lie a lot, but I've never been phony. I've never been phony. So what you see with me, Steve, Mo, Gina, Rachel even, have I ever been phony? If y'all say I have, I'll take it.
No, we can't give you that one.
I'm
a little crazy.
You ain't phony.
I've said
a little crazy. No, I
have said some things.
You don't flip flop.
Oh no, I don't. I've said some things that I shouldn't have said. You know, trust me, Gina and Mo and Rachel have checked me on this. Okay, Steve is checking me now, but I've said some things that I shouldn't have said. But that's the moment, Brother Banks. You know, I'm getting off track. When my son was born, I said I got to be better. I got to do, and I was ass out when he was born too. Okay, but his mom didn't know. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody until 5 or 6, 7 years ago. You know, letting everybody know. And I took him to the spot. I took Ron Reed. He's on the Relationship Roundtable live with us. I took him to the spot, and man, I broke down. I cried. And
Wow.
you know, I don't like no other man consoling me and holding me, but you know, Ron had to hold me because I was about to pass out. I'm looking at this place, and I saw it, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, God is amazing because I was there. That was my house right there. You know,
and Ron is a good dude.
Yeah, Ron.
So, so
and you said it. God is amazing.
So as you're writing, is this bringing you back
Gina,
to those days? Are you, feeling like it's kind of like a out of body experience?
Exactly. As I'm writing this and I'm saying, well, this is what I did. Each time it took me back. I'm afraid to go back over there now because I don't want to see it. But you know, I am cognizant that at any given time, if I'm not being faithful, if I'm not being true, it could happen again, right? But I've put things in place now that if something was to happen with this podcast, with the films that I've done, the things that I've done, I have comfort, I have peace, I have power. I'm good.
I mean, I have a question. Hello, everyone. If you guys didn't hear me when I first came on, but my question about peace and power. Now, I want to say when I got the book, I was just taken aback because Greg finally did. Let's start there. First, I was so proud of him for finally doing it. He said he was going to do it. He had talked about he was going to do it, but he had finally made it happen. And for it to be, a lot of people are looking for grandeur books when someone's talking about their lives, and by it being a short read, it was short and to the point and had a powerful message. And to me, that was everything. So my question to you, Greg, is this: before you wrote the book and lived the life that you lived, what would you say today you put in place so you don't go backwards? Because what I heard was the fear of going backwards, but I know that you have more, so you had support then, but what have you put in place now in your life that will never take you back there?
I've gained emotional control of my life. I've got more discipline in my life. I communicate with the people that I know can sustain me, like everybody here. You know, if I'm down, you guys lift me up, okay? If I'm working too hard, I got my people to tell me, Greg, slow down. I've learned the power of no. You know, I don't have to do everything. You know, now everything to me is a hobby. You know, everything else is a hobby. So I've learned balance, basically.
You learn how to say free too.
Oh yeah, nah.
He still go like this for free when he comes out.
I just, dude. But those are just my keys: the discipline, the balance. I've learned how to balance my life. All right. Everybody talks about work-life balance. I got that. All right. And I don't let anything bother me, you know, unless now I digress. If somebody messing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that's on here, 7 with Chris, 8 with Sister Pat, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna be that old Greg. Okay, I'm gonna go in because I'm serious about mine. Okay, but see, I'm not going in like I used to go with my fist up or everything. I've learned how to decimate somebody with this. Okay, and with the experience and all the contacts I've had, I don't even share the wealth, the strength of contacts that I have. Okay, unless it's necessary. But I could, you know, and this is not being arrogant. This is just the truth. Mo will tell you, I could shut somebody down just by making a few phone calls. Period.
Yeah, we learned that's an art. That's an art. You have to learn that. My sister says cussing somebody out without saying one cuss word.
Yeah.
I've learned it, man. I just wake up now, man, free and peaceful. I decide which one I want each day. Okay, do I want the power or do I want the peace? Okay, do, and sometimes it's both of them. All right. If I want the power, I got to get out there and do something. Okay. If I want the peace, I got to let some stuff go. All right. So, and then if I want them both together, then I'm on my A game. I'm feeling real great then.
So
there's a passage in your book that I want to highlight, and it's at the very beginning, but I want to highlight this because it was powerful for me.
Before you go into that, Mr. Banks, let's hear what Dr. Marie has to say.
Okay.
And then we'll go into that powerful quote.
Right. There were a lot. We kind of talked about it before, but one part in your book, you said that success was personal. And for me, I understood that on so many levels. It's not about everybody else. It truly is personal. And then you stated on this line as well in the book that, you found peace and you are free. So to a person who is struggling with that right now, because a lot of men, especially men of color, struggle trying to find peace, but still pursue power. Do you have advice for people who are basically where you were to help them get them to where you are now?
Okay, so here's my thing, and I think I mentioned this in the first chapter about being true to yourself. All right, a lot of us walk around like a resume. Who people think we are, what we put down on paper or whatever, and they're not themselves. They're not who they are. Okay, so we have to understand that we have feelings. As a man, I got feelings. I got dreams. I got aspirations. I got a whole bunch of things. I got fears. I'm afraid right now to be sitting in front of you guys because y'all gonna ask me the wrong question and I'm gonna cry. I'm telling you. But you
no,
we're gonna avoid them questions.
Y'all can't avoid the question. What I've learned that number one, and I'll relate this to what happened to me. Was it last year, Gina, when I had that breakdown, that mental breakdown?
Yep. Yes, it was last year.
And I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened real quick. I had a mental breakdown. I got home. I just started shaking, crying. I dropped my bag. I called an Uber, took me to the airport. Got to the airport. I said, give me whatever flight's available. I don't care what it is. I need a flight. Okay. Got that flight. I flew all the way to another state, got off the plane, called an Uber. Now I'm not familiar with this state. Called an Uber and told them just drive. They took me to the edge of the airport and I got out and I just walked. I walked for 2 hours, I think it was. I just walked, crying. Because I was overwhelmed with everything, okay? God had blessed me. I'm tremendously blessed, but something inside of me was just saying, Greg, you need to let some stuff go. So I walked around for 2 hours, then I called an Uber, told him to take me back to the airport, got on the plane, not immediately because I had to plan that one to get back to where I was at. Got on the plane, came back, and when I got back, I called Gina. Told her I can't. I'm stuttering. If you can remember, Gina, I couldn't even talk.
I remember.
I was stuttering. I was all over the place, and I told Gina I can't do the show right now. I gotta take a break. And so Gina took over. Mo took over, and it was just a moment. And I'm a firm believer that Black people don't go to no psychiatrist. Okay, so I didn't go to a psychiatrist. I went to somebody that could help me. Okay, and just talk about it. And so I did that, and eventually I got better because I found out again what was inside of me and what I had to give to others, and that me continuing the path that I'm going, even though God has blessed me to get out of that one situation, me going on that path could kill me. So I just said, you know what? Let me let some stuff go. Gina was there for me. Mo was there for me. Some family members. No, they wasn't there because I didn't tell them. All right. My son, always there for me. Okay. And it just was a surreal moment. So, but in answer to your question,
he thought he had a stroke.
Yeah, they thought I was gone. They thought I was gone. But we got to understand ourselves. We got emotions. We got fears. And if we ignore that part, that's when we get burnout. All right. So
Yes.
you just gotta focus, man. And like I said, we have to um, we have to understand who we are. Period. That first chapter is the one that really had me all over the place. Okay, the mirror test, knowing who you are. Okay, if we don't understand who we are, we can't help anybody. We can't even do anything for ourselves. So I lost it all, and I did do the and Dr. Marie, we talked about the engine, the emotional engine. Uh, we quick to work on our cars, right? We check that oil, we this and that, okay. But when we break down in the peace aspect of everything, we're lost, okay. We're lost, okay. Treat yourself. If you gonna make sure that you checking your oil at that $100,000 mark, 50,000 mile mark, then check yourself. Make sure you check on yourself, you know. And how do we check on ourselves? We pray to God. All right. And I mentioned to everybody yesterday that this isn't a religious show, but we all know our basis. We know our strength, and we know where we came from. So yes, when God is mentioned on Dope Living TV Live, we serious. We ain't playing.
Very.
That's right.
I know that again.
This
But
was a good,
I could say this is one piece. It was really good to hear you make mention of the things that you break down. I think that something in our society that we have to really start doing is teaching our young men that it's okay not to be okay. And I think that we have pressured them into believing they must hold it in, or strong women, to be strong you must keep everything in, as opposed to talking through things and learning real conflict resolution and understanding how to be you and how to be with yourself. So it's good to hear that you accepting the fact that you're not perfect and accepting that life has hit you. But I think that that's something that we really need to teach, and definitely talk a lot more about, that it's all right not to be all right.
Well, I
Right.
mean, and right along with that, sis, is that we have to learn, we have to teach others how to be able to accept the sharing from one another without
Okay.
turning it into a crazy debacle on some kind of social network somewhere. So we got to make sure that once we show folk how to, because I'm telling you some things that Greg is and Gina has said to me. I can't repeat to nobody else, and I won't. It's
Right.
just not. It's just not us. But we got to be able to be as folk to be able to repeat things to each other, because we got to be able to confide in some folk that have either
Right.
been through it,
Absolutely.
or
Absolutely.
facing it. You know what I mean? You got to be able to
Absolutely.
spread that knowledge and be able to teach each other. It's so important for our culture. It is very important. We got to
Yeah.
teach each other.
Yes. I wanted to touch on something when you all really hit it home, because to be honest, I really ain't even have to touch on this after y'all hit all the high spots, but I just want to highlight it because it's in the book. And in order for me to get y'all to this book, I want to read this. Heal before you hustle.
Mm.
Ooh, say that again. Wait.
That's
I'm
so important. That's so important. I'm
gonna
glad
give
you
it to
brought that
you
up.
again. Heal before you hustle.
What
Wow.
you say?
And so when
That's
I
a
read that, man, I
grateful shirt
said,
right there.
we as a people,
Ooh, that's so strong.
we tend to use our struggles to get to our successes, right? And we think the engine to our success is our struggle. But what we don't realize is we're blocking off some of our success by not healing.
Yep.
And we think we got to get through all of the things through the struggle. And a lot of times we making bad decisions to get into the streets, to come out of and make that our hustle to come out of our struggle. And if we just take the opportunity to just heal, to check ourselves, to really seek out that assistance. And I want to read this. A lot of brothers are trying to build empires with broken spirits. Man, when I read that, man, I'm gonna tell you, it is so ingrained in our community as Black people because we have so many roadblocks that are
Your
placed in
struggles.
our
Yeah.
ways, especially the Black man. And I'm gonna speak specifically to the Black man. I know there's other men out there, other cultures and stuff like that, but I didn't grow up in there. I grew up in a Black home.
Right. You can
And
speak to that.
so, and with that being said, man, when I read that, I really thought about how we're told one thing, but we're not showed
that thing.
Like we're told to be a man, we're told to grow up, we're told to be the provider, but we wasn't shown how to be. And so a lot of the times we were shown through our struggles how to survive, not live.
But some of us actually gain strength from that too, because the learning process.
I agree. I totally agree. Some of the best things come from struggles.
And some was showed though, because my daddy showed me. They was married 40 years, and he showed me everything it was for a man to do and be. And I'm happy for it. Much respect, Ronald Edwards. But this for you, Greg, today. You awesome.
But I just want to ask this question to you, and when you wrote that, I just want to know from you, when did you decide I need to reverse what I'm doing? Meaning I need to now heal so I can hustle.
That's a good question, man. Because we're all entrepreneurs, so we know when at certain points I can only speak for myself. I look at the money, all right, and at a certain point I know that it's going to come, so I'm not really checking everything, okay. But when I'm not able to, when and this is the Black man's fear, take that credit card out, try to pay for something, and they say, "No, sir, it's declined." Okay, I'm like, no. So I'm seeing, Brother Banks, that something's wrong with my economically for me. Something's going wrong, all right? But I'm ignoring it. You know what I'm saying? So then when I come to people, and in reference to what you just spoke about in the book, people, I'm telling people, well, something's not right, and and these are the people that I trusted in my circle, of course, and they're telling me to man up. It's going to be all right, man up, and I'm like, okay, but that wasn't what I needed to hear. And so those are the moments where I said, well, something's got to change because I'm losing here. These people are gaining, but nobody's here for me. All right. So literally, I had to get rid of everything. Even though the material things were gotten rid of for me, I had to get rid of everything and every obstacle that was in my way, in order to change and transform, to get my peace. And the first thing that I had to do, honestly, and I'm going to bring it back up again, was pray. Okay, and it's sad that we have to wait until we as a people, we don't have to, but we wait until something bad happens. Okay, but that's when God shows up and gives you reasons that you're in that position. Okay, that you're in the place that you're at. So even though, go ahead.
Let me ask you this: how do we reverse the trend of keeping men from being vulnerable and allowing them to be vulnerable men, and still know that your vulnerability is a strength in your manhood? Like the moment that you had with your brother when you went over to that place, that takes strength to be vulnerable, to really have emotional intelligence about how you feeling at that moment, and then just let that moment use you. How do we get brothers to that point?
We gotta get outside of ourselves. We have to understand that again, we're not perfect. We will. I hate to use the word fail. I hate to use that word, but we fail. And what do we do when we fail? We dig deeper. you know, as opposed to seeking a higher, I'll say a higher form of understanding. So I can't tell you what everybody should do. For me, I pray. Okay. And the thing that I think we need to do is continue to have conversations like this. Okay. And we need to invite people to come through. There's going to be some naysayers. Lord knows I've had so many naysayers in my journey. Oh my goodness. I've had people say, this ain't gonna work, that ain't gonna work. You only doing it because you want to be seen. Okay. That's never been me. You know, I think it's been a blessing and a gift. And each one of you guys are doing that as well. You're using the gift that God gave you without question. Okay. You know, at some point, God ordained you to be the person that you are. All right. So having conversations like this and hoping that out of a crowd, I've spoken at colleges, high schools, across the country. My goal is to at least reach one person. One person. If I can reach one person, I've done my job. So, Brother Banks, I don't have a template for that. I can only say we need to continue to have conversations like this. If look, I got a Friday.
I don't want to overtake the show. You know what I'm saying? But you do have a template.
Well, I want to say something. So
he
don't
reminded us
this.
that yesterday.
Yeah. Greg, do you think it was better once you built your relationship with God that you were able to have your relationship with yourself better?
Yeah, most definitely. But you know, and here's the thing: I'm still working on.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I did. I said I'm still working on myself.
No, yeah, we are.
But the relationship with the relationship that I have with God, as you know, people look at me funny because, you know, I may have prayed when I got up in the morning, but before I eat, before I take a bite out of any food, I don't care if it's 5 or 6 times a day, I'm praying.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I'm praying. I'm not, you know, because look, we got more days behind us than we do in front of us.
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
All of us, everybody sitting here. I don't care if you're 30 years old, you got more days behind you right now than you do in front of you. Okay. Because we don't know when it's going to end. We don't know, and especially with the climate that's going on right now, we don't know what's going to go on. Okay. So every day, the first thing we should do is pray. When we get up, pray. You know, if I leave here today or tomorrow, I've been blessed. Period. If I leave here today or tomorrow, I'm happy. All right. And the second thing is to treat others like you want yourself to be treated. I can't, like I said, I'm a very faithful guy, spiritual guy. I don't go to church. I don't. Okay. The fellowship aspect of it, I don't do because I don't like crowds. All right. But in order to be complete, I need to change that as well. So I'm still working on myself. All right.
We all works, bro.
We all. None one of us is perfect.
But I love the fact that you're human and you're saying that, because there's a lot of people who like to admit that. And I constantly say that all the time. And my husband says, you know, you always say you know your flaws, but you still have them, because he's still working on me. So I commend you for saying that. But I want to tap in because you've talked about so many things, like real quick. But there are also things that you mentioned in your book. And I'm an energy person, so we kind of touched on this a little bit just before the show. And you talked about protecting your energy and being intentional about who you allow around you. And, you know, for me, that's important because my cutoff game is real strong. Like if I don't feel the energy or my discernment tells me to leave, I'm out. And a lot of people judge me for that. But I'm okay with it because I really don't care. Because God is telling me to leave, then that's what it is. And people don't understand that. But from a man's perspective, you mentioned in the book, I think it was like iron sharpens iron or something like that. And I just want to know from your perspective, how do you manage that? Because a person of your caliber, you've been through some things, you've created some things, you've motivated some people, you have elevated people, and you continue to elevate yourself and bringing people right along with you. So my true question is, how do you distinguish people who are really trying to be accountable and have dreams and have that fire behind them, that iron to put that fist down, versus people who are just looking for a come up or a social connection?
Right. So a long time ago, I made up the moniker where for Dope Living, because origin of Dope Living was not a TV thing. It was a record label. I created it for my son. Okay. But I after the record label ended, when my son went to college, I just made this moniker. We take small steps and we leave huge footprints. Okay. Which means if we walk in a room, we don't have to be arrogant about anything. Okay. We have a brand. We walk in the room. Everybody is mingling. We're mingling as well. All right. So we talk to the people. We listen to the people, but we don't say a lot. We don't want to be boisterous about anything, because a lot of people walk in the room and be like, hey, this is me. I'm Martin Lawrence. Okay. What's up? All right. We're doing all of that. Okay. But when we leave the room, we've left huge footprints. People want to be with us. People want to get more of what we have because of the energy that we gave off. Okay. So that iron that was in the room, as we walked through that room, we sharpened it. Okay.
Yeah.
We sharpened it. We made it stronger. Okay. Now people want to do us. I've always been a huge fan of, and I've told Gene, I've told Mo, and I've told Steve, okay, let your brand speak. You don't have to do all that talking. Okay. If you're doing the right things with your brand will speak. I made sure it was a hard thing to do, that if you Google Greg Gray, there's some other bald head black dude on there. Okay. You ain't going to never see me, my name, but if you Google Dope Living, it's all on there. You'll see Dope Living, everything. Dope Living apparel, Dope Living TV, Dope Living the streaming platform. We did all of that, okay? And now I'm re-energizing a lot of stuff right now. I just don't talk about it, Talk about it, be about it, you know what I mean? So taking small steps, leaving huge footprints, that's how iron will sharpen iron.
That's so awesome. You really dropped
You've
some
left
gems in
huge
that book.
footprints along so many people's lives.
I'm sorry?
When I met you, you were a celebrity.
I mean, but Steve, I've always said this, okay? I never looked at it, and I'll give you guys an example. I was in a Walgreens one day, the height of the 925 music videos, in Walgreens, and I've been in Right On magazine, Vibe magazine. I've been in all these magazines, right? And I'm standing in Walgreens, and I'm standing next to this young girl, and she's picking up the Right On magazine. She looking at me. I'm trying to get this. I forgot what I was trying. I think I was business something or other. She looking at me, and she looked back at the book. She looked at me. She looked back at the book. She starts screaming.
Oh my goodness!
There go Greg Gray. This is you. There he is. Oh my God. Oh my God. Can I get a picture? Yeah. I don't. That stuff. I know that's where we're at as that, and I never call myself a celebrity. You know this, Stephen. Never.
But you.
But
was on the TV.
I understand, but I understand. I understand the attitude of other people for when they see people like that. Okay, but I never thought anything about it. Okay, I didn't even know the power of being on television and commercials until the check came. Okay, and it's like, okay, all I did was mention your product. Okay, and got this much money. Come on now, all right. But I never felt celebrity. I couldn't do what I wanted to do. Church. Went to my mom. I was getting ready to, and I think I told you guys the story. I was getting ready to go surprise my mom at her place of worship. So I had to park down the block. Walk down the block. This guy was outside smoking at another church. He saw me. He was like, Greg, man, me and my mama watch your show all the time, man. Hey, my mama in church. Can I go get her? I said, okay. That's fine. I said, but I'm getting ready to go to, my mom's church. Whole congregation come out. I'm like, no, man. I said, your mom. Everybody wants to take this now, okay? And I'm like, I didn't even go to my mom. I didn't even get a chance to go to my mom's church. Okay.
Oh,
I mean, it's things like that.
Great.
Things, but it doesn't make a difference. Greg Gray is it's my name, but it's the moniker. Okay, it's not me. I never like that stuff. Okay, Gina would tell you. I've met Gina out at a few places. Okay, and I don't say nothing. I don't talk unless somebody talks to me. You know, I give freely. Me and Gina have empty pockets wherever we go. I give freely, but I don't believe in the celebrity aspect. We're people. We're human. All right. I understand why people feel that way, because we're untouchable at points. And now and that's the whole thing that I didn't like about the industry. You give up your privacy. All right. I took my son with me everywhere I went. So he's met all of these celebrities as well. Okay. And today he's grounded. I told my son when he got out of school, you ain't never got to work with nobody, dude. We good. He said, Dad, that ain't real. I'm gonna work.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah, you can ask me anything you want.
So when we climb the ladder of success,
as you all are doing,
are we prepared for the amount of success that we're going to encounter? And how do we prepare ourselves for what you've gone through, what you've encountered, you know, with the celebrity and things of that nature, and giving up your freedom and your privacy? Because as you go higher, you're going to touch more people. So how do we prepare for that?
Are we ready for it as you guys grow, as you guys get to, and I'm not going to say you guys get to, you're already there, but you'll see how people are going to start treating you differently. All right. So you're not ready for that. You're coming from a place where, hey, what's up, man? Everything cool, man. Let's have a drink and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Where to a point where you can't do that. You can't go to the movies like you used to go to. You can't eat dinner with the person that you love. You can't have them Thursday night or Friday night, whatever Dr. S. Marie and them do with they mate. You can't do that because every time you do that, somebody's interrupting. All right. How do you prepare?
Oh, I've seen it in person.
It doesn't make a difference at what level either. Okay, when you put yourself in the public eye, it's different. You don't think it's different. You're still the same person, but it's not you that has to change. The people have to change. Matter of fact, they change. Okay, as opposed to you change. You're still the same person in your mind. Okay, but you have to safeguard certain things now. Okay, and the bigger your stature gets, the more you have to safeguard. I still, to this day, I don't do a lot of things. I don't go out a lot. I don't do a lot of stuff. Okay, because I'm happy with the peace that I have, the power that I have now. Right. I used to walk into meetings, suit ties, and all this sort of stuff. When I got to that certain level, when I have meetings, I'm in my gym shoes and jeans. Okay. I'm in my baseball caps, my T-shirts. This is how I love to dress. I'm comfortable. But when you come to me, this is my business. When you come to me, you better be dressed. All right. That's just what I think it's respecting who business. You know, the people that are coming to me. Respect who I am. Okay. Respect the level, the stature that I've gone to. All right. And you know, I'm never going to make anybody feel like they're not wanted. I want to help everybody do whatever they want to do, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you allow those people to come in, and they're the wrong people. So you have to really, 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 number one, Brother Banks, and I'm going to say it again, you got to pray. God's going to give you, he's going to give you those blinders, man. He's going to give it to you. Now, sometimes you have to learn a hard lesson, which I did. All right. But then once you learn that hard lesson, God makes it a point to make you strong, make you have knowledge so that won't happen again. And if it happens again, that means that you did not stay faithful.
Didn't learn from your mistake.
Wow. We could go on and on and on. I mean, it's so much.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It is.
Ain't no part two.
We didn't even get as deep as we wanted to get because we ran out of time.
Ain't no part two.
Part two.
He said no part two. At least you have to tell the viewers how to get a hold of the book.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Yes, you do.
No, Gina, no, seriously. I took it off of the platform that it was on. So once I get it back, I'll put it out there on my page. Everybody that's on my page, I'll make sure you know. Gina gonna make sure you know. Rachel gonna make sure you know. Damn. What was you saying, Dr. Marie?
Well, I had a question, but now I have a comment. I'm going to make sure that you know too, because this book is too powerful for you not to share. As I told you earlier, I'm a woman. I'm not a man. But this resonated with me for so many reasons. You talked about boundaries. You talked about energy. You talked about alignment. You talked about peace and pressure and freedom. Yeah. So many people search for this, and it's hard for them to find. And I even wrote a program called the CAB program, Know Who You Are, Accept Who You Are, and Be Who You Are. This is like the perfect piece to that, because sometimes people don't know where to go. They can't put it into words. And you literally, in your own words, just put out this book. And again, it didn't have to be 100 pages, 500 pages. You got straight to the point, but it was so powerful. Like literally, I'm reading it 4 or 5. I'm at 5 in the morning. I'm up reading this book, and I didn't stop until I finished, because there were so many gems that related to me as a woman. What I want for myself, my expectations for my own mate, and just you even had a piece about your home. It's where you recharge, and that hit me because. In Melanin and Marriage magazine for May, I wrote something about home. So again, I can just go on, but you literally just made so many points. So all I wanted to ask you was this, but yeah, we're gonna make sure you get the book. There's no option. If you need some help, I'll do it for free. So basically, my question to you, my last question is, if you had one message to leave every person who watches Dope Living TV, who's watching right now, about life, success, love, purpose, peace, what would that message be?
Stay informed. All right. We have to listen to ourselves. We have to stay faithful, not only to ourselves, but understand, our creator. Steer away from the easy. If nothing's for me, it was hard work. It's been hard work, and it still is hard work. Okay. And I feel better. I feel fulfilled when I had to do the work myself. Okay. When I had to grind. All right. You feel much better when you're grinding, and then I'll say the magic happens. All right. It has been a total blessing for me to go through what I went through. Good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. I'm still, to this day, right now, I had a conversation with my ex-wife who's doing some big things right now. And she told me that she stepped aside to let me shine. I was like, wow, you never had to do that. Okay. But she did that. All right. Good people, even though we're not together, you get people that are cheering for you.
Absolutely.
And let those people go. It's going to be hard too. And that was one hard thing for me. But then it got to a point where it was easy. Let people go that mean nothing for you, that are not going to do anything to strengthen you as a person, strengthen your business, strengthen your life, strengthen your mental. Let people go. It's not even that hard for me right now. Ask all the people that were on Dope Living TV before this core cast. Okay, it's not hard for me because number one, it's business, and number two, I'm protecting my peace. Yeah. And as I protect my peace, I get rid of. Look, I'm a ninja. I'm blocking all of that negativity. It's blocked. Okay, and that's what I have to tell everybody, man. Just understand who you are. First of all, you cannot heal anybody else if you can't heal yourself. Keep God in your hearts.
Amen. Peace and power. Peace and Power by Greg Gray. Now you can add author to your resume.
Nah, man, that's the only one. That's the only one. I'll make a movie. I'll make a movie. I'm going to make a movie. Before that part that I'm going to send you guys the link to for you, that was supposed to be and it's been for 3 years. Netflix was going to do something because I was in Kanye's documentary, genius. And 3 seconds re-energized everything. So it's just a lot of stuff. Okay. And I don't like talking about myself, y'all. I'm not gonna say you forced me to. I think this was God's purpose. And I appreciate, man, look, Melanin in Marriage has been a blessing for Dope Living TV from the jump. You guys, and I'm probably gonna cry before this is over, but you guys have been here, and you guys have made a difference, and made the relationship roundtable a staple, because we were going all over the place with guests and this and that. We have more conversations as opposed to having guests on the show, and I think it's a lot better for us. Yes, we're still going to have celebrities on the show, but I think it's more important that we have these conversations that people need to know. And you guys have brought a lot of knowledge, a lot of strength on Mondays for everybody. That's the way to open up the week. So I appreciate you guys, and I got a lot of stuff to do with you guys. I do.
We appreciate you.
It
Queen.
sounds like
we're gonna bring that part too, though.
You need a page in Melanin in Marriage.
So don't do that. I'm already on it. I literally was gonna say, can we please stay after the show? Seriously, I do want to know. Like I'm just inspired. Like you, again, like Gina said, we didn't even touch the surface. We touched like a quarter of a percent of what's in this book, and it's just so powerful. Like it would be such a disservice to the world for people not to hear, read, see what you have in this book, because it's the simple things in life that we neglect, but allow us to stay in a rut or stay in a position where we're stagnant, and we don't even know why. But it's our lack of action. It is the people surrounding us. It is our mindset. And you touched on all of those things like that quick, but the words, like it could have been 5 words, but it was so powerful. It felt like a whole chapter. So, don't deprive the world of hearing what you have to say, because most people, I do it too. Sometimes we feel like we got to talk on a different level. No, you kept it 100 all the way through. And that was so relatable. And that's what people need, is someone who's going to give it to them raw, because that's the only way they understand it.
Great. I'm a part of the circle. Everybody talking all this greatness. I haven't cracked one piece of that book, but I feel like I know all about it already, just from, being in the circle.
You do.
I still need to get my copy.
Oh, damn.
Can you send my copy for the $10 you owe me?
He said bartering. See, we gonna barter.
I say this because I gotta go. Say this because I gotta go, bro. When it's hard for us, it's easy for him. And this is coming from a mentee of you. I was a mentee, still a mentee, and I thank you. And I'm like Mo. I ain't read the book yet, but I know you. I'm listening to everybody that read the book, and I know. And just to hear you say, and I know, because I remember some conversations we had when I first came on here, and to hear you say some of the things you say now, bro, I got more respect and love for you than I had then. And I got nothing but respect. And like I said, God is love, and love is God. And I love you.
All right, now.
I gotta go,
all
y'all.
Right.
Y'all.
All right.
All right,
well,
now.
This was a
tomorrow.
treat. I'm telling you, we have to have a part 2. I don't care what he says.
Ain't gonna be no
part
part
2
2, man.
is coming. Yes, it is.
It's no win.
Thank you all, Melanin in Marriage, for coming on and sharing this spotlight with my big brother.
Thanks for having us.
He can say he don't want to be in the spotlight, but we're gonna put him in the spotlight because he brought something that needs to be in the spotlight. And so that's what we're gonna do. So let's close this out while your tears are flowing.
I appreciate y'all.
Oh wow, he's like a Russell
How you gonna close
Simmons.
it out? Oh, I'm sorry.
He's like a
Yeah.
Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
Peace. Good night, y'all.
Right.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for doing this. I didn't want to, but you know, to be able to do it with people that you love, people that you care about, and people that you respect, it makes it even better. Okay. When I've done interviews before, actually, I've only done one interview because I don't like interviewing, and it. Thank you. This is Dope Living TV. We'll holler at you. Y'all stay on, man. Gina, you could do it. Damn. All right, it's Dope Living TV. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right.
I'm out of practice.
You got no control.
Whether in the house or outside, you know that we gon' do it. Make our own decision, turn around and still get through it. When you say the name, you know it's us and what we doing. So turn it on and let the bass get booming. Hey, yeah. Dope Living TV. Dope Living TV. Dope Living TV. Dope Living TV. Yeah. We got it all. Come and see. Yeah. Dope Living TV.